Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new week of learning and assignments. This is the last week of what I informally refer to as Unit 1. While we still have one lesson left on arguments to work through this week, I would like to note that our focus during Unit 1 has been on a number of things. Properly orienting to the course and the course operations, that was week 1. Getting a general introduction to the discipline of philosophy, I believe we did that during week 3 via the first Smart Book reading. Becoming mindful of character traits. That was also during week 3, and of course, these character traits are things that will help you do well in completing a philosophy course. Other courses include in completing an online course, an online philosophy course, and to be specific with me. Of course, lately our focus has been on creating a solid foundation of how logicians define, construct, and analyze arguments. You will see in the Smart Book readings lots of arguments about reality, morality, and knowledge. You will read about arguments and you will read actual arguments that philosophers have made about these topics. And because we have spent such a good amount of time learning about the philosopher's concept of an argument, his approach to argument, her approach to argument, you will better understand what it is that you come across. Then you will be much more prepared and better able to make sense of arguments that you come across in other courses, in class discussions, in discussion boards, in everyday life, in social media, that is to say, beyond this class, and not just in philosophy or when reading about what philosophers have to say about, free will, right and wrong, and, truth, belief, and whatnot. Okay, so also, I want to point out that because we have spent time focusing on argument and creating tools that we will refer to all semester and learning more about intellectual virtue, you're also going to be in a better position to make sense of your own arguments for a grade when you apply stuff to arguments that you made during week 2. But also, you will have at least 2 assignments where you have to make sense of peer arguments. And so you won't necessarily clarify them, but you have to be able to talk about their conclusions and their premises. So this is also going to help you. One thing that is very cool about our transition from Unit 1 to Unit 2, and informally I call our next 2 or 3 weeks Unit 2, is that Unit 2 focuses on the philosophical branch of metaphysics with special attention to what is called the problem of free will, but I call the problem of causality and compatibility, is that you end Unit 1, Week 6, by applying all that you have learned as relevant to your argument about wearing a mask of your own free will. And we begin Unit 2, Week 7, with the Smart Book experience, where you read all about the philosophical branch of metaphysics. You get a more in-depth introduction than you did during your first Smart Book reading. And we're going to be focusing within that chapter on the problem of free will. So the idea is for you to analyze your own argument about free will and then keep your argument in mind about, whether or not what was your definition for free will? What did you conclude about wearing a mask in a grocery store of your own free will? And then how does what you say, what kinds of connections and comparisons can you make, contrasts and comparisons can you make with what you come across in the reading on free will? So I think it's a really nice transition. That's all I have for you in this bundle introduction, and I look forward to looking at your submissions and seeing you apply all that you have learned.